The following program is a public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley, where we highlight the people and organizations in town that make Tinley Park a great place in which to live. And as we all know, Tinley Park is a pretty great place in which to live. My name is Ron Centeni. I'll be your host tonight. And this is always brought to you every month through the volunteer efforts of the Community Resources Commission in Tinley Park, along with our wonderful high school students and adults who are helping us out putting on this program every month. We're kind of grateful that all these people are volunteering to help out put this show on for you. Can't believe this is getting to be November already. It seems like we just got done doing our summer show. So winter is coming, and I've got to tell you about something coming up next month in December. Santa's coming to Tinley Park already. Can you believe that? The Christmas market will be down by the train station on December 5th, 6th, and 7th, usually in the evenings. And then on the 6th, Santa's coming to Tinley Park, usually around noontime, but check out your tinleypark.org or the newsletter that comes out or the website, and that'll give you all the details. So Santa's coming to Tinley, Christmas is coming, winter is coming, so hopefully we won't have a winter like last year. November is a very special month to a lot of people. This is usually when we have Veterans Day, and we honor the veterans who have served our country over the years. And we're very fortunate this evening to have somebody who is a veteran of World War II. And as you know, you can probably imagine there's less and less of those, but we're very glad that the ones are still around, and we're glad to have our guest with us today. And with us also is our past state commander of the American Legion, Sons of the American Legion, Jim Hunter. Jim, welcome to Discover Tinley.
Thank you, Ron. It's a pleasure to be back here again.
And Ray Farley is our Corporal Ray Farley. Is our.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. The biggest reason is there's a project going on that you're involved with, this history project. What is that all about now? What are you involved with doing that?
Well, Ron, it's called the Veterans History Project, and it's a project sponsored by the American Legion, actually started by the Library of Congress. And what we do is we get a hold of a court reporter, and we set up an interview with a World War II vet, or actually any veteran, and we go through a whole criteria of questions and so forth to elicit the history of the veteran being in the service and his activities before he went into service, during the service, after the service. And the whole purpose of this history project is to have a history right from the veterans, that we can have our children in the future go into Library of Congress or the Illinois Library, because the Illinois Library gets a copy also. So they will have a history of the service that our veterans did right from the veterans' mouth. And it's been a very exciting thing. I've done 6 or 7 of them myself, and it's just amazing what you hear from these veterans.
Oh, I can imagine. It's kind of nice that you get the verbal. It's not one thing to read something on a piece of paper, but to actually hear the people talk about their experiences, to me, is tremendous. A tremendous thing to do there.
And sometimes, if we have the right people, it's videotaped. But we also, besides the Library of Congress and Illinois Congress getting a transcript of it, we also give the veteran a transcript of it too.
Oh, wow.
So they know what they did.
Wow, good for it. Now, who can participate in it? Who can do this now?
Any who can do it, or who can be interviewed.
Both.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to, I'll have to look it up before we get done here. the website, you can get the criteria of all the questions and who to contact, and you can do it. We usually do it through veterans organizations, but we ask any veteran that would like to be involved and would like to go through the interview process. You can contact me at the American Legion, or you can give me a call at 708-567-9062. And if you're too far away, I can set you up with somebody in your area. And we will come to the veteran. You don't have to worry about them coming to us.
Oh, wow.
We usually do it in the local area here at the American Legion in Tinley Park. But
Okay. Now, how many would you say you've done? You said you did about 6 or 7?
I've done about 6 or 7 so far. I just started within the last year.
Okay.
But when we have our conventions, we're at the American Legion Convention and the Sons of the Legion Convention, and we have a constant stream of interviews going on. We help the court reporters with doing it, and we do the interviews.
Wow. Well, let's talk to our veteran here, the World War II vet. I still can't believe that that long ago. World War II vet, Corporal Ray Farley. When and where did you serve? When were you in there, and where were you serving in the war?
Europe. Well, first I was down, took my training down in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and when I left the 75th Infantry Division down there, went to radio operator school, and after I qualified for radio operator, then I was placed in replacement group and went over the seas and went to Europe.
Whereabouts? Now, you said you started in Europe at a very famous place. Where did you enter into Europe?
We landed in Omaha Beach.
Okay.
And a little story I've got about that is as we landed, they were loading the hospital ships with wounded veterans. And it gave us quite a deep thought of what we're looking into. But I didn't see any actually combat until July.
Okay, you were over. Yeah, you went over there. You said in July, about a month afterwards. So
about a month after
Okay.
they had everything clear, but we were still fighting in the hedgerows.
And what
at
was
that
your job? What was
particular-
your job on there? What was your actual position?
Well,
What were
we
you
went
doing?
in as foot soldiers, but then we were technicians basically, and we were in the reconnaissance squadron, 113th Cavalry Reconnaissance Squadron, and that consisted of 2 different troops of it was cavalry, and 2 different troops of one was 125th and the other was 113th Cavalry Reconnaissance Squadron, and the 2 of them. Now I was with the 125th, and we split up and we worked with 1st Army, 9th Army. We did some work with the British, and went through all the way France, Belgium, Holland, Germany,
Oh, you went through all those countries?
all of them.
Oh my goodness! Did you serve under these famous generals that we hear about?
General Bradley,
Okay.
and he was the main one that we were. But basically, we were controlled by lieutenants and sergeants.
You probably never saw the generals much, did you?
Not very much.
They didn't get with the little guys.
At one time, we were. What we would do was we worked with the 9th Army or 10th Army or just 9th Army. We would go out and try and keep in touch with the Germans, send back prisoners, and radio back information to the command posts, and we'd give them all especially taking prisoners and bringing them back in for interrogation.
Wow.
That was one of our main jobs. The fighting, we had 2 jeeps and an armored car, and the 2 jeeps led us into when we ran into trouble with them, then we bring up the armored car, and that's when we had the firepower for ground troops. Ran into anything big, they would pull us back, and we'd either be on hold or they'd deploy us to a holding mission on one of the flanks or so on and so forth. And then they'd bring up the infantry and the artillery. Then we'd circle that and we'd keep going. And at one time we were 60 miles up in front of the front lines.
Oh my.
And they stopped us and they couldn't get the supplies up to us. So we had to stop and wait till they they sent the supplies up and the gasoline and food and so on and so forth. But basically, we were about 10 miles ahead of the front lines doing our patrols.
Wow, that's pretty good. You got that far ahead.
Yeah.
You must have done your job very well.
Well, it was, as I say, it was coordination between everybody. I was particularly with the radio operator and machine gunner, and my job was basically with the radios. And we had the Morse code and the talking radio. Of course, the voice radio would only go for so much distance. That's why they used the Morse code on it. Oh, yeah. And our job was to get the information back through the main command post, as I said.
Wow. What were the living conditions like? You were in tents, or where did you live?
We lived on the ground and in the armored cars. No, there were no tents.
Oh, my. Tents no.
None whatsoever.
Oh, my goodness.
But no, it was a rough account of it. But we were young kids, 19, 20 years old, and we handled it.
You could take You could take things at that age.
Right.
And the food, what kind of food did you have to eat?
Well, we started off with K rations. They were a little square box with 3 cigarettes on top of it, and not very much food, but it kept us going. And then if we ran into any farms or anything like that where we'd get eggs or anything, we'd cook them in our helmets, and
oh, no.
we survived.
You cook in your helmet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
We did everything in the helmets.
Some things we don't want to talk about, too, right?
That's right.
Okay. I was kind of curious, when you're in that situation, are you aware of what else is going on in the world? I mean, do you get news or get any kind of feedback as to what else is going on in the world out?
Well, at times when we were, as I say, when we were held back on a holding mission, that's when we'd get our mail, and we'd get the Stars and Stripes, and that was the at that time that was the news that we received all the way through the line.
Okay, well, and then some of the people you worked with or served with too. How was that working with them? You had some pretty good relationships with those people?
We had relations with them, but we had friends, but not buddies, let's put it that way.
Okay.
A lot of movies that show lifetime buddies and so on and so forth. We never had that because we had too many casualties.
Oh, okay.
And the casualties demoralized everybody.
Oh, I'm sure.
So therefore, we had friends. We cooperated fairly good. Good commanders, good lieutenants, sergeants. I had no problems with any of them, actually.
Okay. Did you get hear from back home at all? Or what's the communication back home?
Yeah, as I said, when we come back about every 2 or 3 weeks, we'd get our mail and a little story. My dad, the poor old soul, he's passed away, but he sent me a shoe shining kit, and here I'm in the trench with mud.
Whoops.
And that was the fun part. That was the fun part.
Oh, no. He said, Dad, I'll shine them when I come home, huh?
Right, right.
Oh, my goodness. And I understand then you went on this honor flight, too. When did you go on the honor flight?
About 2 years ago, I think. Jimmy picked me up and took me to Midway Airport, and we boarded the plane. And they treated us like a king and put us in wheelchairs. And at that particular time when we landed in Washington, D.C., it was about 90 degrees, so they wouldn't let us walk. They put us all in wheelchairs, and they had all the wheelchairs in the buses, stacked underneath the buses where the clothes used to be, suitcases used to be. And after the when, as far as touring, everything that we went through, it was all, I was pushed around by a nice big sergeant that was a ex-paratrooper, and so on and so forth. But he was an excellent, and I had a beautiful time there.
Wow. Real briefly, what kind of thoughts went through your mind when you saw the memorial there? What did you actually come across
The Vietnam Memorial, that brought, of course, I had, my son was in the Navy in Vietnam, but I had no close contact with people of that era.
Okay.
But
How about the World War II memorial? What thoughts went in your mind when you?
oh, the memorial, that memorial, I went over to the Illinois section. They had different sections of Illinois and all the other states and everything, and it was quite interesting. It was something that I would do again if I had the chance.
Okay. One last question. What did you join up or did you get drafted?
Nope, I graduated out of high school in January of '43, and I was in uniform in March of '43.
Oh my.
So I was drafted.
Oh,
My friends and neighbors took care of that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
What did your family think of that?
Well, they had nothing. They couldn't say it was.
Not much.
It was just the start of the war, and
Yeah.
we were old.
Yeah.
It was a different era than it is. I don't think it is now, but at that particular time, it was something that had to be done.
Yeah, right. Well, as I said, you were the greatest generation, and my folks grew up in that time too. And that I think that term really hits home. You guys were in the greatest generation and really did a lot to serve us and pave the way for a much better society. So thank you so much for doing what you did and putting your life on the line and helping out and doing all the things you did do.
We appreciate that. I appreciate that all the way down. Everything that Jimmy here and all the fellows at the Legion, and it's wonderful to be recognized. And but basically, we did what we had to do, what we were told to do.
Right.
And if you didn't do it, then you had problems. But everybody was cooperating, and that's why we won the war.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming to us tonight. Appreciate it, and wish you all the best. Same to you, Jim. Keep up the good work.
Can I just add one
Real
thing
quick?
This is why this project is so interesting. You get stories like this, and if anybody's interested, you go to www.loc.gov/vets, and you can get all the information about this Veterans History Project.
Beautiful. Well, thank you much again for coming, and good luck to you, and wish you all the best, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
World War II veteran Ray Farley and Jim Hunter, and veterans from the American Legion. Thanks for this session.
It will be a weekend full of nonstop fun from December 5th to the 7th, when the Village of Tinley Park and the Community Resources Commission present this year's holiday events. The weekend kicks off at Friday, 6 p.m., with the lighting of the spectacular 35-foot holiday tree. The popular holiday market will be open all weekend, Friday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, noon to 6 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. Visitors can receive a complimentary photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus from noon to 6 p.m. Saturday and from noon to 5 p.m. Sunday. Take a horse-drawn carriage ride from the train station through historic downtown Tinley Park. Be sure to watch the ice carving demonstration and enjoy classic holiday movies at nearby Old Zion. The annual Parade of Lights will close the festivities at 5 p.m. on Sunday, December 7th, from 179th Street North to 171st Street. Bring your friends and family for a weekend of holiday cheer.
Well, our next guest has done quite a bit about keeping things going in Tinley Park in the business end, and she is the president of the Tinley Park JCs. So, Myra Stanley, welcome to Discover Tinley, and the president of the JCs. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, what's the JCs? People hear JCs. What does that really mean, and what is that?
The JCs are a civic leadership organization. Basically, we are leadership development through community service. So people 21 through 40 years old who want to get involved in their community and want to give back, to learn a little bit about personal development, to use those skills in their everyday life, basically.
What kind of where do these members come from? What's the criteria if you belong in the JCs? Why would somebody join the JCs?
Most of our members join the JCs because they want to give back, and they want to get involved in their community. They know that there's a need in their community. Our members are everyday people that they're single and married and in different fields of their life and different stages of their life, but they're 21 to 40 years old. So we have attorneys, we have financial planners, we have an engineer, we have a tow truck driver. I mean, just everyone, 21 to 40 years old who just wants to give back.
Wow. Now, they give back. In what ways has the organization given back, and what kind of things do you do to give back?
Civic things in regards to fundraising. If there is a cause that's someone's in need, if there's a person that has cancer and they may be struggling with paying some bills or some things like that. Maybe there's someone that needs food and their family can't assist them. Right now, we may get together at someone's house and prepare food to take over to that family's home. We've assisted the chamber if the chamber needs manpower for events like the Caribbean Block Party. They needed someone to help run the kids' activities, keep the kids busy. At the Brew and Vine Fest to collect tickets and to help a little bit of assisting in cleaning up areas to keep things going. Anything that we can do to help.
Wow. You got a lot of things going there, don't you? That'll keep you busy.
It does keep us busy.
Now, JCs, that's not just a local organization. It's
no,
how big is it?
we're JCs are 20,000 JCs in the United States. There are 60 chapters in Illinois alone, and across the world there are over 200 JCs. Over 100, there are more than 400 different chapters in the world.
Wow, it's worldwide.
Oh, it is worldwide.
Oh my goodness, that's good. Okay, so you get to travel now.
You get to travel if you want to.
Tell us about the local chapter now. How many members are in it, and what are some of the things that you guys are doing currently?
We have 30 members right now. Our chapter just started in January of this year. We are a reiteration of a former Tinley Park chapter.
Yeah, talk about that. The JCs have been around, but I remember when I first moved to Tinley, it was in '72. That's before your time. There was a very active chapter going, and then something happened that kind of died out, and then it invented itself, I guess, back in the '80s or something like that.
It did. The original chapter did a lot in Tinley Park. They planted trees, and they did different things with sandbox fills. They would go around and have tires and fill them with sand for people's children in the neighborhood. They were truly involved in the community. We had a reunion with them recently, and it was a great reunion for them to give us advice and talk to us. There have been chapters in the 1990s as well, and now our chapter is starting back up and just trying to get, like I said, involved in our community and give back, as well as have opportunities for professional development as well.
Now, what's your background? What do you do? I mean, obviously you have to do something to earn a living.
we all have full-time jobs.
Thank you.
That is the one thing.
Yeah.
This is our volunteer. I call this as my volunteer job.
Okay.
I'm an education manager for a medical association. My background is in hospitality as well as in education and training. I'm actually a grad student as well as president of the JCs and a full-time job. So.
Well, you're young. You can do all that stuff, right?
You got to do it when you're young.
That's
Because
right,
once kids come along and family, and so.
Yeah. Why is the JCs important to a community? Why do you think it is an important function in town?
I think it's important because at some point in your life, you want to learn more about civic things. You want to learn about government. You want to learn about what your community needs, what other people need besides yourself. So to give back and to learn about what makes your community better is very important. Right now, we are doing a community needs assessment, and every event that we've either volunteered to assist with or been at, we've been asking people to complete this 6-question survey of what is Tinley Park or their community, because we are sending it to other chapters further north. We are asking them, do we need health and fitness? Do we need assistance with service-oriented things? Anything that we can assist with, we want to fill in that gap. Government and the community are already doing so much. We have great programs in Tinley Park. Together We Cope. Those organizations are great. We just want to fill in that gap.
Wow. Okay. You got some plans for the future already yet? Or?
We do.
Wow.
We have. We're right now currently planning a recycle and sustainable festival to learn about recycling and composting. We are doing a Cosmic Bowl in November, a Cosmic Bowl event. November, we are determining what charity that those funds will go to. We have several things that we have down the pike over the next 4 months. So
Wow. And how long is the term as a president? How long do you stay in office?
typically a year. I did come in the middle of the year as president. I didn't get into this role until August.
Okay.
So I am actually running again for 2015.
Wow, getting reelected. Okay, that's
So-
good for you. Have you got any personal plans for what you'd like to see the organization do or achieve during the time you're president or in the future?
I would like to see us do something with health and fitness, which is actually one of the highlights from the assessments that we've had done so far. Health and fitness being a big gap, for some people. Education-wise, as far as how do you read food labels, how do you do different things. There are things that a lot of people don't know how to do, and we could fill in a gap that it's free to the community and people learn something. I think it's a win-win for everyone. I'd like to see us also reach out to the school districts and different people just to see what we can do and how we can be a resource.
Wow, ambitious. Now, how often do you meet, and when and where do you meet? And how often do you meet?
We meet once a month. Our general membership meeting is at Durbin's once a month, the first Wednesday of every month at 7:02. It's an odd time, but
7:02?
7:02. I'm the second president of the regeneration of Tinley Park JC, so 7:02. We do meet a little bit earlier for social time at 6:30 though as well.
Okay, wow. I was curious, what did you learn from here listening to the, quote, older members of the veteran members of the JCs when you met them that one evening?
The one thing that I took back to heart is to get to know your community. It was be there, be accessible, listen to what is needed, and that's where the community needs assessment came from. The fact that we need to know what Tinley Park needs, and who better to tell us than the people in Tinley Park.
Yeah. Now, how are you getting this questionnaire out? How are you?
We have been to 6 different events and had this put out, but we also have the electronic version on our website at tinleyparkjcs.org.
Ooh, say that again, Tinley Park.
tinleyparkjcs.org.
Wow.
tinleyparkjayces.org.
Okay, and people can respond on that too?
Yes,
or look
they
in
can, and it's only 6 questions, so
Okay.
it's not a long survey at all.
Wow. Now, where did you grow? Are you from the area here, or where did you grow up?
I grew up 15 minutes away from here, near the Calumet City area. So,
Wow.
I grew up
So
not
you're
far.
a South suburban person.
I am.
Thank you. People don't understand there's life in South suburbs, and there are good people down here. So.
And that's true. The Tinley Park JCs, most of our members don't live in Tinley Park. More than half of our members live in Oak Lawn. We have Posen. We actually have a Naperville resident.
Oh my! So you don't have to live in Tinley Park to be
Not
in the
at all.
As long as you want to contribute.
As long as you want to contribute.
Wow. Well, keep up the good work. It sounds like you got some good things going there, and a good program online there. And wish you luck as a president, and keep the organization strong.
Thank you very
Wow.
much. We will.
The Tinley Park JCs, a good organization that really wants to help out people in Tinley Park. And it'd be nice if you could get on that website, the tinleyparkjcs.org, and participate in that survey so they can get an idea what you would like to see them do. And again, we thank our veterans for the American Legion that came and saw us earlier and talked about the World War II experiences. That's quite an event. And say November 11th is Veterans Day. I hope you'll recognize the veterans on that day. Again, Christmas coming. Santa's coming to Tinley Park December 6th. See you next month.